Sports Festival, Lost and Found, by Rogue Vector, read by Rainbow Curse. Chapter 3. Oh. Alright folks, thanks for the warm welcome back for our competitors this afternoon. Now who's ready to find out what we've got lined up for our second years? The crowd roared, excitement crackling through the air, the windows of the announcer's booth rattling as the audience cheered and hollered. For the third and final challenge, we got one-on-one battles! As Shota sat back and let Mike take over the rules of how the elimination tournament would go, and then go on to draw out the initial pairings, he finished his jelly packet and... watermelon? Aizawa examined the packaging. Yes, it was mango. So why could he smell watermelon? He wasn't having a stroke, was he? Wasn't that burnt toast? Why specifically burnt toast? Eraserhead sniffed the air, cocking his head first to one way and then the other before turning toward the green-haired guest. Hey kid, do you smell watermelon? That's me, he admitted shamefully. I bumped into a man and he spilled his drink on me when I got lost in the rush to get back into the stadium. It was watermelon flavored. Sorry. Aizawa nodded and made a dismissive gesture toward the mango-flavored packet of jelly he had just finished. No, I was just wondering why I smelled something other than mango. You look like you're soaked. The kid flushed red and ducked his head like he was ashamed. No, I'm fine, he said irrationally. Aizawa let out a breath as if he knew this was coming. Why did he always get the problem children? Kid, you might be fine now, but that juice is going to start to dry and leave you a sticky mess. Get up, go over those cupboards at the back there and grab some spare clothes. We have them on hand for when students get their uniforms damaged or destroyed during exercises. Midori nodded and walked over to the cupboards in question. Aizawa turned his attention back towards Mike. First drawn was Amajiki Tamaki, who Mike had dubbed the Consuming Chimera. He then got set up to fight against the one-man shield wall barrier quirk user and defensive specialist Tate Amaru. The swirling energy blaster Hado Nature was drawn up next, though he missed who she was facing off against, as he heard an astonished squeak from behind him. Mike, the showman, didn't break stride, but glanced at Aizawa, who nodded and turned around to see what was going on. This kid was turning into a distraction, being a bundle of nerves as he was. What's the matter? Nothing fit? No, I found some that did, but I can't wear them. These are UA gym uniforms, not to mention that they're the 4th revision type. That only came out last year, so these must be new, too. I mean, I'm not even a student here. I don't deserve to wear these, not to mention that these uniforms are so expensive as well. Aizawa fixed him with a stare. Midori, we had several giant robots get blown up in the second round. Each of those cost UA upwards of 5 million yen in raw materials and off-the-shelf components alone. Both rounds resulted in several students needing new sets of gym uniforms anyway, not to mention how they get damaged over the course of a school year. Thinking logically, this means UA's budget is big enough that one more set of clothes isn't even going to be noticed. Am I wrong? Midoriya flushed redder. Had that been possible? Starting to look more and more like a fuzzy slice of watermelon, especially with those freckles on his face. No, I mean, yes, you're right, but I can just go wash off my shirt and... Good. I'm telling you now as a UA staff member, as a heroics course homeroom teacher, that it's okay for you to take this and wear it, and that we're happy to give you a set, because you're currently soaked in fruit juice. It would be pretty unheroic of me as a hero, as a teacher, and as a representative of UA to not try and make you feel comfortable while you're a guest here on campus. But The boy looked pinched for a moment before relenting, bowing and promising, I'll make sure to return them later. Problem child just won't give up, will he? Aizawa found himself closing his eyes and counting to 5 as he considered the point. Please just go, get changed. There's a locker room down the hall to your left. You can get cleaned up and changed there, okay? The boy hesitated one more time. If you're sure. Yes, I am. Now please go before we miss the first match. Eraserhead didn't quite let out a sigh of relief when the kid finally snatched a medium-sized uniform set and all but sprinted out of the booth and into the hall. As if to punctuate this, Mike announced the last pairing of the finals. Mirio Togata, the strongman streaker of Class 2A, and his opponent, 2B's recommended student with a line-of-sight teleportation quirk, Mr. Blink and You'll Miss Him, Takimaba. For now, Aizawa resolved to keep those observations to himself until after the sports festival. Then Eraserhead would do some digging into what made the boy flinch and stutter so much. He trudged back over to the seats, sitting down. No, he swapped the seat Midoriya had been sitting in for a fresh one that didn't have juice on it, and then he sat down. Mike leaned over, grinning as he did so. So, the little listener okay? A little too nervous about wearing a uniform when he wasn't a student, as I said. didn't feel like he deserved it. Well, he'll get the chance to earn one soon enough, right? He's, 13? I didn't ask. Maybe you can ask him when he gets back. I'm 14, Present Mike's son. Oh, welcome back, little listener. And boy, was Midoriya back. Looking at his face, Shoto was willing to put money that the boy had either experienced a religious experience on the return trip from the changing room, or his attitude toward the uniform had done a complete 180 turn, and his parents were either going to have to drag him out of that gym uniform, or be forced to frame it on the wall. Probably both. The power of fanboyism. Looks good on you, kiddo. Can't wait to see you wearing the uniform next year. Rick shot a pair of finger guns at the boy, and for a moment Aizawa was afraid his friend had spontaneously manifested a gun fingers quirk, because it looked like the boy had been shot. Fortunately, that wasn't the case, and the boy instead ducked his head and shuffled forward into his seat. So, since you were gone, here's the matchups for the next event. We're going left to right in the tournament chart here. Oh, I missed the drawings for that. Midoriya chirped. Mike turned to raise her head. Well, first up is the resident Shy Guys. So, Sun Eater and Shield Wall. Yep! Mike popped the P, grinning as he did. This will be interesting. They have such contrasting quirks. Especially since Amajiki-san's quirk is all based around food, came the reply as Midoriya leaned forward on top of the chart, looking it over, and where did that notebook come from? Since we've just come back from the lunch break, that means that he's going to be as powerful as he gets, depending on what he ate, and how quickly he can access the biological components to be manifested. Does it work on DNA? If so, I wonder how much DNA material he needs before he can manifest something as part of his quirk. Would eating raw food make it more effective? Food for thought. Which makes me wonder what he's decided on doing, compared to Tate-san's more consistent quirk. I've heard you mention that he stockpiles the material from what he eats as well as his own energy reserves to shape the steel when he manifests it. So, both have quite similar energy reserve limitations. Izashi grinned. Care to tell us more about your predictions here, little listener? You seem to have a lot of thoughts around Amajiki-kun's quirk. Well, Amajiki-san's quirk Manifest showed huge versatility in the earlier rounds. Using the wings and hind legs of a chicken gave him excellent mobility during the relay race event, not to mention the use of oyster shells as defensive shield and his octopus arms as a way to make tighter corners. And this isn't just a powerful quirk. Amajiki-san would have had to have planned ahead on having these manifestations in stock earlier during breakfast or dinner the night before, assuming that his body's nutrition cycle works at about the same rate as a baseline humans. That shows a lot of foresight, and both practice and experimentation to have settled on these particular animals in his diet and arsenal. Aizawa glanced at Mike, pointing to the control panel, but Mike just grinned and waggled his eyebrows as he egged on the student. What about the other competitor, Tate Mamoru? His quirk seems a little more skewed into the defensive, don't you think? Tate's shield wall quirk may seem to favor the defense on the surface, but that doesn't discount him from the offensive category either. After all, getting hit in the face by a shield is just as bad as being punched, especially if he makes use of the edge like many armed manuals did in the ancient and medieval era, which he's clearly studied as we've seen in the past few hours. Not to mention he's shown the ability to adapt the types of shield constructs he manifests in the type of attack he's trying to block, and, as we all saw during the obstacle course, the ability to throw them as a medium-ranged offensive weapon. Something that Amajiki-san hasn't got many of. We've also seen him make great use of slanted armor during the relay race to deflect Hado-san's energy blasts, rather than trying to tank them head-on, which means that he's able to use his shields with as much thought and creativity as Amajiki-san's arsenal. Not to mention that the materials he manifests seem to resemble metals, which are difficult to break through when the baseline options are mostly based around animal biology. Not impossible, though. So, you think he's pretty evenly matched against Amajiki-kun? In their way, they're quite a contrast between a versatile quirk and a specialized one. Which is better to have in this fight? Both are being used by such talented students, so it's quite the even matchup. Mike's eyes gleamed as he bounced off Midoriya's words. Ooh, I like your thoughts there, Midoriya-kun. But I'm still curious. If you had to pick a winner, who would it be? Midoriya shone. I wouldn't know. They're both amazing quirks with clever heroes using them. It all comes down to who can work out an effective plan first, or just plus ultra their way to victory. Aizawa felt his hands clutch at his bottle of eye drops as Midoriya's smile blossomed across his face. Gods, it was like looking at the sun. It took a moment for the boy to realize something, though. Hey, why is the stadium so quiet? There's the first shoe. Well, little listener, I think you've been leaning on the broadcast button. Mike coughed. This was a great analysis, though. Couldn't have done better myself. Izuku's face went very pale, then just as suddenly, very red, as the other shoe dropped. Oh. Went too far west. At Rat God, where have you been hiding this kid? Can I get dibs on sending him an internship? From gangorca@gangorcaagency.hero.jp to principal@uaheroics.hero.jp. Subject line, empty. Nezu, I'm currently on patrol. I'll keep this brief. I would like to extend an offer of internship to the student currently in the announcer's booth. Please expect a more formal, incomplete email to follow. Apologies for the, keyboard smash that I don't know how to verbalize. At Official HeroNet. Who's the new kid on the block? Find out what we know about the UA second year sports festival. Unexpected dark horse here. Midnighty. At Rock God, can I keep him? From sir@nightagency.hero.jp to principal@uaheroics.hero.jp. Subject line, offer of internship from the Night Eye Agency. Principal Nezu. That student currently talking with Present Mike is showing some potential with analysis and investigation. He does also appear to have difficulty handling a crowd, which speaks of some public speaking difficulty, though I hope Present Mike will continue to guide him in this matter. I'd like to offer him an internship, if you would be so kind as to tell him. And also, I would like to request that you exempt me from the usual 1 hero, 1 intern rule. If not, Bubble Girl has expressed an interest in taking on her first intern, and I believe they'll be well suited to each other, as both have similar analysis specialization. Kind regards, Sir Night-Eye. Hero Watch, @HeroWatchOfficial. Gang Orca arrests 2 villains while trying to keep his phone #unsmashed. HeroTube link. Content warning, contains juggling and swearing. Aizawa Shota, @Rock God. Miss Joke just sent me an internship request and thinks I'm trying to pull her leg when I told her that Midoriya was a spectator that got lost. She'll be sending you an internship request directly to you, so ignore it, and tell her to believe me. I just realized that you're probably not going to listen to me, so this is a preemptive I told you so for whenever this blows up in our faces and everyone is trying to request an internship for a middle schooler. I'm trying to record this again because I'm trying to get everything in this short amount of time span. Hello! Hi! How are we doing? Oh my gosh. Welcome to the outro, my little unkindness of crows, my little, murder of ravens, my feathery flock, my friends of chaoticness. I don't know, I am throwing names at a wall and seeing what sticks, because we like to spice it up in this household. Keep you on your toes, never know what to expect with updates either. Hi, sorry, I know it's technically Friday now. Yeah, sorry, it was Wednesday. My uncle came to town with a couple of his people, and we went to go see his gig that night, and it was so cool, because we never get to see my uncle, and he's really good. They're really good, but, yeah, it was very fun, and his friends are very, very chill. But yeah, no, they're so cool, they are very cool, and, we got to go see them that night, but that also means that I didn't get to upload and edit and stuff, because I literally came home and crashed into my bed at, like, the most reasonable time I have in the recent couple months, so yay! But yeah, that happened. So I'm sorry you didn't get your update, but you have it now, so yay! Never know what to expect. I got that. How did we like this chapter? If you already knew that whole thing about my uncle, you're probably in the Discord. Everyone should be like them. Or, like, if you don't want to be, that's fine. But, like, we really like new people, and it'd be very fun if you came and join us, because we would love to have you, and it'd be very, very cool to have you there. Okay. And we have very well-seasoned arson, I must say. The arson is, like, top tier arson right there. We love the arson. The arson is amazing. You know what the opposite of arson is? The opposite of arson? Not doing arson. And not doing arson means drinking your water. Drink your water. Go eat your food. I know we love arson in this household, but, you know, you gotta drink your water, you know? You gotta drink your water, go eat something, yeah, go drink something, go eat something, please, you need to. go to sleep at a reasonable time. If you're watching this, you're not asleep at a reasonable time. Rat Satan. Go sleep. Please go sleep. Please. Because it would be cool if you slept. Because sleep is kind of important, you know? And, make sure you brush your teeth, because that's important as well. Maybe not as important as the other few, but that's still important. And take a shower if you're feeling up to it, because that's also important. Those are the 5 things that you need to do, because, yes! We're not stable human beings. I mean, we listen to PODFIC, but, like, gotta at least pretend to be, you know? Okay. How did we like this chapter? Because I love this chapter. This chapter is so good. I just love watching Izuku ramble and mumble and all that about, quirks and heroes, and I adore it so much. Speaking of Izuku, I know, I'm just doing flawlessly with the seamless transitions today. Speaking of Izuku, I love Vigilante Izuku fics so much. So, I love quirkless Vigilante Izuku fics. I don't know what it is about them, but I just adore them. So, if any of you have any quirkless Vigilante Izuku fics that you want me to podfic, then, like, maybe send them over as well as, like, any other fics that you really like. Because I need more content. Always. I love the content. The content is awesome. We love having more content. But, like, the Vigilante Izuku thing, I love it. I love it so much. If you guys want me to podfic a Viridian, I could probably do that. Maybe. I don't know. Probably. I wish I could podfic Shadows, but that, if any of you have read, I'm just going off on a tangent of Cloudfix. If you want to leave now, you can. But this is just going to be me rambling about Cloudfix. If anyone has read Shadows, the horror movie Heroes, I love that fic so much. I am just waiting for the day it finishes so I can be like, haha, first one here, can I podfic this, please? Because it's so good. It's so good. I love Shadows. I may cut this out. I don't know. Maybe I'll add it. But, like, anyway. I think that's all my points that I have to cover. And I'll see you guys in the next upload. Oh, that's happening in 30 minutes. Yay! New fic! New podfic. New podfic in 30 minutes. Let's go! Anyway. I think that's all we have to cover. So, I'll see you guys when I see you. Goodbye!